Hello. I was asked what I had in my pack on the last trip I took out. And whenever I decide to pack a bag, I will think of the trip I'm about to do. Now this one here, I wanted to do a tent camp. And I also took a pot and stove that I wouldn't have to make a campfire and such. I just wanted to do it this way because a lot of people have that option and they don't always have an option that they can go out and make a big fire pit and make a campfire and so on. So I just wanted to show a different type of camp. So let's go over the outside of the pack. On this side here, I have my adjustable water bottle holder. And what I have in here is my Sawyer water filter bottle. This came in very handy. I could just go to any water runoff, little stream, fill it up and keep going. Very nice piece of kit. That just fits right on the side of this MOLLE attachment. Now this here is a One Tigris tactical pack. I'm not quite sure if they even still carry this one pack here, but it's worked rather well. I'll put a link down in the description of these items so you can watch videos of my reviews. This here is just my camera bag. It's what I keep my camera in. This is an assortment of stuff. I've got some stakes, I've got my compass, magnifying glass, whistle and such. Got a Armageddon fire steel and those two dollar store bike lights that were flashing. I used those, put those out. I figured why not? Do they work? Like I said, people say they do. I've had past experiences that say they might, so why not? On the other side, I had the One Tigris water pouch compartment here, and I've just got a water bottle in here, just a soda bottle that I'll fill up full of water as well. That attaches to the MOLLE. Got a flare gun as well, just in case. We're back there quite a few miles, and if we needed rescue and they needed to find us, we could fire a flare up in the air and so on. So that's a big plus. Now, this here is a Canadian Army surplus sleep mat. And as you see, I folded it up. It's nice and compact, fits well on here, and worked well for keeping me comfortable. And you don't have the cold coming up through the ground because it got down to, 4 Celsius, even a little bit lower, I believe. Black flies are out really bad. I've got about 50 right now circling me and such. I don't have any bug repellent on. So as I do this, I'm going to be chewed. So first off, I'm going to open these up. Gotta hate when they get in your eyes. Okay, let's open this. Well, in here, we'll start here first, the outside pouches. In this, I have 2 headlamps. One is a Petzl, and the other one is the AA True Night headlamp, right there, the True Night TH20. That works really well. And I've got this Petzl as well, and this is working great. So I just got these both in this little bag, and that's where I keep them, and then I throw in here. So whenever I'm thinking about going on a trip, like I said, I pack accordingly. I always have 2 headlamps just in case one fails. And I always take a light source. You never know when you might have to go away from camp or away from a campfire, or even if you don't have a campfire, you got to be able to see around in your tent and around your campsite. So I have 2 of those. Got a spork in that pouch. In here, This here, I got it at, it was on sale at Canadian Tire up here. And it's a gear hammock. You're stretching between two trees and putting your gear on for hanging food up in trees and so on. It's lightweight. It's small as you see, size of your fist. So I thought I'd take it. Now, I have sat on it, and it will hold my weight. Now, I'm 225 right now, and it does hold me, but you never know. It may fail. So I'm taking a risk whenever I sit on it, but it seems to be doing fine thus far. This here is some dollar store twine. I've used this for many, many years now, and it works great. I've used it for ridgeline. I've used it for just my main twine, and I've got so much of it, and it's so lightweight, I figured I'd take it on this trip. I didn't have to be stringing much and such. This here is a bag full of bandanas and a pair of leather gloves. Always good for working around your cook stoves and so on, plus when you're clearing brush, whatever, you know. Now, in here, now, whenever I decide on putting a kit together, I think of my shelter, which is a tent, and then I think of my sleep system. So right now, got a first aid kit as well. You're way out there, believe me, rescue's not coming quickly because it's even hard to find you where we was. And there's no address I can really give them, so you know, it could be a while. So I've got this tent right here. This is a light take tent, very, very low budget, but I've used it a few times. I really like it. Now, with my size, I sleep diagonal in it, and I have my gear in one corner, and it works great for me. So that was going to be my shelter, and I always bring, this here is a dollar store tarp. It's a heavy duty tarp, really. It's $3. It's the blue with the silver or gray inside. It's a 6x8. Makes a perfect ground sheet if the ground is wet for a tent and so on. Now, if it started pouring rain and my tent was leaking, I could grab this, throw it over top my tent as well. So multiple uses for a 6x8 tarp. So that would have been my shelter there. And then I always think sleep system. Well, that's where the sleep pad comes into play. And then it was supposed to be, like I said, 4 Celsius. This is a 0-degree bag with a jacket on and my clothes and stuff. I've got 0 degrees out of this, so I know it will work. So this is a 1 Tigris down-filled bag, and it worked really well. I just had a thin sweater and a t-shirt on, and like I said, it's 4 Celsius, maybe a little lower. I was getting a little cool, so I threw my jacket on, and I was fine. Now, that is my sleep system. I have the sleep pad, and I have a sleeping bag. And then, when it comes down to it, all you need is shelter, sleep system, and cookware. Of course, I didn't bring my food out, but you would need food as well. But this here is the Esbit Trekker cook kit. It has a alcohol burner in this pot set. And like I said, I'm not going to take this apart. I'll leave a link down below where you can check that out. It's a very sweet set. So I got my cook kit there. I've got my spork. That's all I need. Brought out a poncho. It's 1 Tigris. And the leggings as well. It's 1 Tigris. So that covered my, if it started pouring rain, I wouldn't get wet. So this just fits in here like this. Slides down. We'll put the tent back in. That's what I like about this tent. It's so small and it is compact. Now I'll throw this in here on this side, like that, and that. Now there is two other things that I brought, and it's in this pouch right here. And that is alcohol for the alcohol burner, and my Sunjack light stick. This here I've had for years now, and it works great. I'll usually take this, put it on the low setting, and hang it out all night. If you have to get up and, you know, for whatever reason around camp, your camp is lit up. So it's done me really well, and I always take this when I go camping. So that's basically it. So I have a sleep system, I got a shelter, and I got cookware, you know, and a couple odds and ends. You don't need much. You really don't. And I had a great time. I also took my Jessica X Schrade knife just because it's a bigger knife and a chopper if need be. And being way out there, I wanted a bigger knife just in case. So that's about it. That's all I can say. That's all I took out there. It was a great trip, and hopefully this gives you some ideas on how to pack a pack. Just think, what am I going to use for shelter? And then take whatever you need for that shelter. What am I going to use for a sleep system? Take whatever you need. I recommend a sleep pad. This one here I got $20 at a surplus, but I also have closed cell foam ones that I've used on snow, and those are 20 bucks as well. So you have many options out there. So your sleep system, and then just think, okay, what do I want to eat, and how am I going to cook it? So that's basically it. And then any odds and ends, light, like I said, a light source, and a way to start a fire, you know, or a stove or whatever. I've got a ferro rod here. So just think of what you may want on this trip and pack accordingly. So I hope this may help, and thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to get out of these bugs. Wow.